2018 Mazda 3 Fastback Review. Pros: classy exterior design, well-made interior, engaging drive and automobile. Cons: not a practical choice. Hatchback has better resale values. Mid-sized saloons are something of your dying breed within the UK as buyers increasingly favor SUVs, helping to make the decision to provide Mazda 3 Fastback to some British audience increasingly curious. There's an undeniable elegance for the 3 Fastback's lines, which stylistically stick it midway between its more traditionally shaped rivals available as the Audi A3 Saloon and Volkswagen Jetta, using the four-door coupe Mercedes-Benz CLA for the other end with the Svelte Spectrum. If you're looking to compare it using a contemporary booted saloon from Ford, Vauxhall or various other manufacturers, then we've not so great news. There aren't some other options, in Britain, no less than. Daring exterior, ordinary interior. Inevitably there's much swoopiness concerning the way the Mazda 3 Fastback looks, it being another exponent from the Kodo design language seen over the brand's lineup. As well being smaller, it appears sportier compared to the larger Mazda 6 Saloon and in addition manages not to take a look simply such as a Mazda 3 hatchback which has a boot tacked around the back being an afterthought. Disappointingly, the lining lacks the bodywork's flair. It's well assembled, even the positioning of some with the switchgear, for example the controls to the infotainment system located down through the gear lever, more and more difficult to familiarize oneself with. Mazda claims the Fastback's cabin might be more capacious as opposed to previous Generation 3 saloons. Nevertheless it still feels tighter inside back compared to Jetta, especially in terms of legroom. Limited array of engines available reflecting Mazda's conservative sales ambitions for the 3 Fastback, there isn't a really wide array of power plants from which to choose. You're limited with a 118 bhp 2-liter petrol, a 104 bhp 1.5-liter diesel and, topping the product range, a 2.2-liter diesel producing 148 bhp. The petrol motor particularly spins engagingly but none really muster the facility to sate enthusiastic drivers. Naturally, it's the particular unit together with the greatest efficiency claims. Mazda quotes 74 miles per gallon and 99 gkm of CO2 for your 1.5-liter engine. All models gain from Mazda's hunt for what it describes as Skyactiv technology, essentially, and therefore engines, transmissions, the bodywork as well as underpinnings are designed using advanced production methods and light-weight materials. Contemporary technological features mirroring the hatchback's range structure. The Mazda 3 Fastback say nav, cell nav and sport nav trim levels are generously appointed, which has a raft of features available, that just a few years ago were the preserve of luxury cars. Depending upon where inside Fastback hierarchy you may buy into, autonomous emergency low-speed braking, lane departure warning, automatic main beams and adaptive cruise control may very well be part on the package. There's a good head-up display system. Nonetheless it somehow conspires to seem like part of a 1980s game in execution. Watch the complete Mazda 3 Fastback review. How you rate this distinctive compact saloon. 2 diesels as well as a single petrol available. All concentrate on efficiency over outright speed. Larger diesel engine would be the pick with the range perhaps a reflection from the conservative nature of typical smaller saloon car buyers. No version from the Mazda 3 Fastback is particularly quick, using a diesel version delivering the sportiest performance. Fast by name, not of course. Pair of diesels available. Of most interest to company car drivers and personal motorists alike will be the economical 1.5-liter diesel. It sounds somewhat underpowered at only 104 bhp. Even so the Mazda's lightness enables it to succeed in 115 miles per hour for its size. It's pleasingly torquey, generating 270 Nm from just 1,600 revolutions per minute, translating in an 11-second time to the 0.62 mph sprint. Efficiency's the sport here, with Mazda quoting this 3 fastback in an average of 74.3 miles per gallon and easily 99 GkM of CO2. The pick on the range really needs to be the larger 2.2-liter diesel, with 148 bhp and 380 Nm at 1,800 revolutions per minute on tap. They translate into a 132 miles per hour top speed plus a 0.62 miles per hour period of 8 seconds flat. Despite the additional speed available, it only loses out fractionally for the 1.5-liter diesel in relation to its running costs, with quotes of 72.4 miles per gallon and 104 GkM of CO2. All diesels employ a 6-speed manual transmission. Just one petrol engine, unlike its hatchback sibling that was launched that has a trio of petrol-fueled motors. These fastback only is sold with one, the 118 bhp 2-liter unit. It revs very eagerly and smoothly, but clearly isn't gonna propel the saloon along to particularly heady heights. Their 6-speed manual and automatic versions will top out at 123 miles per hour. You ought to rev it quite tough to extract the most torque from using it. 2. Its 210 Nm peak is delivered at 4,000 revolutions per minute. For the manual, that equates with a 0.62 miles per hour period of 8.8 seconds, stretching to 10.3 to the automatic. Mazda quotes the manual's efficiency with an average of 55.4 miles per gallon and 119 GkM of CO2, the automatic at 50.4 miles per gallon and 128 GkM, respectively. Agile handling but lacks to chance to exploit it fully, feels impressively nimble, just as the hatchback firmer than expected ride, exacerbated by larger rims. Can the MX-5's legendary handling prowess be translated into your saloon form on the Mazda 3 fastback? Well, that could be overgeeing it. Nonetheless, it's no exaggeration to convey that the fastback is often a poised and agile 4-door family car, its extra length seemingly not impacting negatively about the balance displayed by its hatchback sibling. The fastback's grip impressed us, the steering effectively communicating just what the front wheels are as much as through a group of corners, although its weighting was slightly lighter than we will have liked. There's some on-roll in evidence, although not enough to sully the enjoyment the Mazda offers. If a compromise exists, it's which the ride quality is usually a shade firmer than you could expect of an unsporty saloon. It's not ribaldingly uncomfortable, but over sharper ruts occupants will feel jolts over the car, especially when it's riding on larger 18-inch wheels. All the 3 fastback really lacks is usually a more powerful engine to take advantage of its impressive dynamics. High-quality interior plastics impressed us. Switchgear location and action didn't. Head-up display manages to take a look old-fashioned at first acquaintance. The Mazda 3 fastback's cabin feels and looks like that of your car at a class above. Hardly surprising to learn the more expensive Mazda 6's dashboard comes with a similar design. While it's well built and features significant areas assembled from soft-touch plastics, some from the controls and knobs feel just a little old-fashioned, being less well-damped than rivals' switchgear. In a car similar to this, it's also debatable if the rev counter has to be the dominant instrument from the binnacle, having a smaller digital speedo just towards the side. Although you soon get used on the oddly sided switchgear, especially the infotainment controls located down relating to the handbrake and gear lever, we had been less convinced through the flip-up head-up display system. The graphics aren't especially sharp or bristling with information, somehow conspiring to look such as a 1980s vision of future car interiors. Supportive seats in the beginning are great for long journeys. Little exterior noise enters the cabin. Adaptive suspensions unavailable on smoother roads. For example, comfort levels provided from the Mazda 3 fastback impressed us. Its over pockmarked British roads, In the event the car is riding on larger 18-inch wheels, how the setup's inherent firmness relates to light. Not that your particular passengers will likely complain around the occasional sharper jolt, particularly because the suspension handles shallower road imperfections so well. Disappointingly, there's no adaptive suspension substitute for soften the ride. There are two seat designs, a flatter one for lower-ranking models and also a sports alternative with greater side bolstering, with the top from the range. Both provide good quantities of support and comfort, with cloth upholstery holding you constantly in place more effectively versus the leather alternative. Although snug as compared to many hatchback rivals, the 3 Fastback's cabin's efficient at accommodating 4 adults, although head and legroom from the back trail behind the Volkswagen Jettas. Little exterior noise enters the cabin. Such may be the Mazda's overall volume of sound-deadening material and general refinement. Even entry-level, say in all fairness equipped cell-nav hits the sweet spot from the range. Few methods of personalization as together with the Mazda 3 hatchback, the Fastback can be purchased in say, cell and sport nav variants, together with the addition of InSay Nav system standard on sport nav cars. The one difference for say nav and cell nav. Standard Mazda 3 Fastback equipment pick a base spec say car and also you won't do too badly, as a result of 16-inch alloy wheels plus a rear spoiler, including a black cloth interior, leather tire and Gartnov and piano black inlays. Say nav models gain say nav while say cars still get the 7-inch color screen, featuring Bluetooth, USB and iPod connectivity, plus aircon. Move nearly cell and you also get LED daytime running lights, LED rear lamps, automatic BIC xenon headlights, front fog lights, rear privacy glass and rain sensing wipers. Dual zone climate control is added, plus heated front seats and parking sensors from the rear bumper. Cruise control which has a speed limiter complete the list. Sport nav brings by using it larger 18-inch alloy wheels plus a rear lip spoiler for fastbacks that's absent from the hatch. Adaptive front lighting automatically switches between high and low beam, plus moves the lights left and right using the steering wheel. Front parking sensors may also be added to help tight maneuvers. Finally, there's a silver dashboard insert, plus head-up display and 9-speaker Bose stereo. Top-tier cars by having an automatic gearbox also gain paddle shifters behind the tire. Optional Mazda 3 Fastback accessories. Not much out there here aside from paint, either solid, metallic or pearlescent, as well as the option of light stone or black leather dependent upon specification. High score when tested by Euro NCAP. Emergency low-speed braking a standard optional safety pack, a worthy investment. Euro NCAP gave the Mazda 3 Fastback a 5-star rating, having a particular increased exposure of adult occupant safety. You get driver and passenger airbags, back and front curtain airbags, plus side airbags for your front, and also a smart city brake system as standard. Fastback includes a larger boot as opposed to 3 hatchback rivals. The Mazda's luggage space seatbacks fold to the side, swallow longer loads. 4-door saloons will usually lag behind their 5-door hatchback counterparts on practicality grounds, and also the Mazda 3 Fastback's no rule breaker in this connection. It's not the size with the boot that's the matter. The Fastback's 419-liter capacity is a lot more generous compared to hatchback's 364-liter offering. It's the narrowness with the aperture if the boot lid's swung open. Inserting a bulky load is never about to be as fundamental as when a wide tailgate's exposed. That's not the Mazda's only issue, its key rivals all offer more space, too. Although the Audi A3 saloon's not very much further ahead at 425 liters, the Mercedes-Benz CLA and Volkswagen Jetta offer significantly more room at 470 liters and 510 liters, respectively. Longer loads is usually accommodated in the Mazda by folding in the 60 hours 40 minutes split rear seatbacks, with release levers located just beneath the rear window in the boot opening. Elsewhere there are several stowage facilities that has a cubby beneath the front center armrest, being useful and serving because the location for USB sockets and memory watchers. Just a shame the hinged lid for it swung from the cabin's low points, feeling a little bit cheap in comparison with other fixtures and fittings.